amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remember blessed. Joining us now is Ojiokpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning, Dr. Vati. How are you this morning? Great. How's your weekend? Perfect. Good morning, Tundun. How are you?
OJ, I'm
perfect.
Thank you.
Good morning, Rufai. How are you this morning?
OJ as well.
Perfect. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending with reactions to a viral video showing thousands of supporters at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, welcoming the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Amed Tinubu, on Sunday. The former governor of Lagos State was returning to his home state for the first time after clinching the APC presidential ticket. The supporters gathered in various groups in and around the airport to receive the former governor. Traditional singers and dancers were also present at the airport to entertain. Another video showed Asiwaju's convoy leaving the airport after they allegedly held up traffic for more than 3 hours.
The president. Look at him moving as if the president is coming. Meanwhile, he's not yet the president. Look at the way he's moving. Look at the convoy. You can see the convoy. We are finished. We are finished. We are finished. We are finished in this country. This is the man Tinubu who kept us here for the past 3 hours. We've been waiting. The roads were blocked for 3 hours, waiting for the so-called Mr. Tinubu. You see the convoy. Even the president, even the president of the world does not have this kind of convoy that I'm seeing here today.
Well, in another development, the bus conveying press crew covering the Lagos State Governor's office on Sunday was heavily attacked by thugs, leaving no fewer than 2 journalists wounded, with others sustaining various scars on their bodies. The press crew bus, which was part of the convoy of Asiwaju Bola Amed Tinubu, conveying dignitaries, including the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, was attacked by the thugs who threw heavy stones at the bus repeatedly. The incident occurred while the bus was in transit on the Lagos Island, right after the dignitaries left the palace of the Oba of Lagos after paying him a courtesy visit. Now, this is quite unfortunate what happened to our journalists yesterday. Really sad situation. I don't know if you saw some of those videos. Some of them were bleeding. So I believe 2 of them were severely injured, one in the eye and the other in the wrist or somewhere as well. But also those videos circulating of Asiwaju's arrival yesterday was quite shocking for a lot of Nigerians, because a lot of people are saying, well, how is it that he's not even a president? Like if you heard from our eyewitness saying that he held up traffic for 3 hours. I don't know how true that is, but you know, it's a really shocking situation for a lot of Nigerians.
Well, this was truly shocking, and many Nigerians have every right to be outraged, to be alarmed. And the gentleman who was running the commentary in the background there was saying, look, he's not yet president, and he's doing this. So if Asiwaju Bola Amed Tinubu becomes president, what then would happen? Because shutting down either the airspace or the road when a VIP, they call the phrase itself a very important personality in Nigeria. The airspace could be shut down for hours on end, endangering the lives of other people. Then on the road, you have the big man syndrome. The big man arrives, the entire town shuts down. And in this particular case, the gentleman running the commentary in the background said the road was shut down for 3 hours. 3 hours of a productive time, you know, just causing mayhem, just because the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress arrived from Abuja, where he had been. Even governance in Lagos had to be suspended momentarily because the governor too was at the airport to welcome his political leader and godfather. So the hardship that people were subjected to was not necessary. And that convoy too, that conspicuous display of the big man syndrome, was also something that some people would find, you know, uncomfortable. If the presidential candidate is coming into town, he could have arrived quietly. He could have gone straight quietly to the National Stadium at Surulere to receive people. There is another stadium there, the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium, that could have been used. Tafawa Balewa Square could have been used. But to cause this kind of a disruption was, quite strange. The second thing was that, look, it was accompanied by security men. The security men could not provide security for the ordinary people when the convoy was leaving the Oba's palace. Nothing wrong in going to visit the Oba of Lagos, reporting to the monarch to say, well, your son is now presidential candidate of the party. I have no problem with that. But could we do all of that with some modicum of discretion, of decency? And the bus that was attacked by hoodlums, it had boldly written on its screen, on its, on the front of the vehicle, press crew. Yes. So the attack on journalists, was it deliberate or was it merely accidental? And the lady you were referring to that had broken glass in her eyes, that's the lady being shown there. Her name is Adiola Ogunride. And she was quoted in one of the papers today that, they were taken to the hospital yesterday and that she will go to the hospital again today. These hoodlums were wielding cutlasses, sharpened blades,
unacceptable.
Guns, perhaps, although that has not been confirmed. So it could have been worse. Somebody could have been killed. 2 journalists were injured. What if those persons had been injured, had been killed? Journalists just going about their normal duty. So I think that the Bola Amed Tinubu campaign organization owes the people of Lagos and those who were injured, some kind of apology for causing needless pain and disruption out of the enthusiasm of celebrating his emergence as a presidential candidate of the APC. And we hope that going forward, this will not happen again. The campaign should be conducted in a very secure manner, because it's only when people are alive and they are in good health that they can enjoy whatever benefits of democracy the APC and its presidential candidate are promising the Nigerian people if they win in 2023.
Tundu, I'm going to read a tweet from my phone. This is from Ugochukwu, who wrote, America and other democracy will be laughing at us. Presidential candidate with exotic private jet, still Agbero in Lagos, who don't have any hope of the next meal, is beating support drum for him. No, unacceptable.
I just think that it doesn't make any sense. I'm not entirely sure if the roads were closed for 3 hours. Some people say that that's an exaggeration, but that's neither here nor there. The whole point of closing roads, closing airspace for VIPs is security, right? But then look at that convoy. As it was driving past, I saw 2 motorcycles, couriers. I think they were delivering some, those motorcycles with the box at the back, driving right along with the cars. So if we're closing down roads for security, why would you have motorcycle delivery people, courier people right next to you? Any one of them could have had a gun and shot. So really, it says to me, this is not about security, this entire spectacle. So this entire spectacle just looks like yet another way that the political elite is out of touch with your average Nigerian. Because if it's not about security of lives, then what is the point? What were those motorcycles doing in such close proximity? And also, the hoodlums who attacked the press bus also show how hoodlums got so close to the convoy. So if security was not achieved, then what exactly was the point? So I think that Bola Amed Tinubu's campaign needs to look at the protocols and really re-examine this, because all of this has just caused ill will. It has not provided security. So there are no gains from this entire exercise, is what I'm trying to say. Then what was the point of that? You just don't want to put people off unnecessarily when you're campaigning to win hearts and minds.
Exactly. When you're campaigning to win hearts and minds. Rufai.
Who did this to Nigeria? Governance is about service. You are begging to serve the people of Nigeria. But what do we see? Power show. Fela sang a song in 1981. I have to be precise about the year. He says, I open my eyes and I see in my country. Power show. Since 1981. Up till 2023 or 2022. Everybody does power show. is a reflection of the society. Why block roads in the first place? Who are we in this country? Who are we really? The political class always look for ways to show the people that they are beneath them. And that's why over the years the political class weaponizes poverty. And they do all sorts. But it's something the political class normally do. I mean, we remember a time in this country now that somebody will come to Lagos and there will be traffic all over. And I remember people saying all sorts of flimsy reasons. The person might just be coming to Lagos to visit somebody and there'll be traffic all over. Across every political party, all of them do it. But should we have a country this way? Should we have a country where there's no even respect at all for anything? Look at the airports. Have you ever a plane parked and people are so close at that proximity?
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Please, maybe they will correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe the plane was parked somewhere else. I don't know. Then blocking the road. Then journalists attacked for doing their job. All because a presidential candidate came back to town. So what will happen if the presidential candidate wins? A 1-week public holiday?
I like that question you asked.
No, because let's ask ourselves this question. Politicians should remember that they are there to serve Nigerians. And this is the same Nigerians that are living in poverty. Over 100 million of them. Their subsidy rates now, the so-called subsidy, is affecting the economy so much that we might be defaulting on our debt soon. We have all sorts of problems in town. In Lagos, as we speak, there's still a high number of unemployment rates. I don't have the exact figure, but when you check the unemployment rate in Lagos, it's high. Yeah. So why is it that Nigerian people are always at the receiving end? At first, it was the colonial masters that dealt with us. Now it's our politicians. What is happening?
Well, Oji, just before you move on, I saw a WhatsApp message just now from Benga Motosho, the Commissioner for Information, Lagos State. He's trying to offer an explanation.
Okay.
He says, well, it's all lies. Roads were not shut for 3 hours. But one gentleman in the video was the person we were referring to. The convoy was formed by party faithful and ordinary Lagosians who were excited to see Asiwaju. So it was not the party. It was excited fans and ordinary Lagosians. Governor Sanwo-Olu has directed that the attack on journalists should be investigated. I hope next time security will be provided for journalists too.
Yes.
You know? Okay, that's the statement from Alausa.
Well, all right. We shall take another story. The New Nigeria People's Party has dismissed reports that their presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwanso, has accepted to be the running mate to Peter Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Over the weekend, reports began circulating on social media that Kwankwanso had accepted to be Peter Obi's vice president, after a tweet by the NNPP revealed that there were ongoing talks between the Labour Party and the NNPP. In a statement on Sunday, the NNPP Publicity Secretary, Agbo Major, said that the reports were misleading and embarrassing to their great party, its presidential candidate, Kwankwanso, and millions of their supporters in Nigeria and in the diaspora. I mean, I thought this clarification was in order, but I don't know if the details were necessary. I mean, it just seems like some sort of message to show that Kwankwanso is above Peter Obi. I mean, I thought that was quite unnecessary. What's your thoughts on that?
I completely disagree with you.
Sure.
If he thinks he's above him, if he thinks that's how he wants to phrase his message, he's within his rights to do so. But he never claimed, this is Kwankwanso, never said, I'm superior to Peter Obi. He used the word
Not
embarrassing.
I'm talking about the
yes, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody said they're superior. He used the word embarrassing. If he finds it that way, then he's within his rights. I keep saying it here. You will never meet a politician without a gargantuan ego. Mm-hmm. So these things don't surprise me. In order for you to stand up and say, vote for me, I'm better than this gentleman on my right or whatever. I'm better than everybody. I can lead you. You do have a massive ego. So these things don't surprise me at all. And yeah, it's not surprising. I didn't bat an eyelid.
You always say that.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite
That's how they
necessary.
speak.
Dr. Abati.
Okay, well, what we know so far, which has been confirmed by also the Kwankwanso spokesperson, the spokesperson of the NNPP, New Nigeria People's Party, is that both the NNPP and the Labour Party, and the two candidates, they're talking together to see how they can form an alliance to work together. Now, what is that alliance? Is it a merger? Is it, working together to get out, to win certain positions in certain places? The modalities have not been worked out. The details have not been worked out, we're told. So the devil is in the details. But it's not strange that, political parties can work together. As for who will be presidential candidate or who will be a vice president, running mate, well, of what impact? What will be Peter Obi's gain from that? Peter Obi, we were told this morning that in Imo North, a major constituency in the Southeast, that members of the PDP, right, and even some members of the APC, with some members of the Labour Party, they are saying they will work together for Peter Obi. Because Peter Obi clearly, on the list of about 5, 6 Igbo presidential candidates that we have in this process, is the most prominent, right? So will he risk the groundswell of support that he's getting from the Southeast? And it's up to him. Will he also risk, the symbolism that has developed around this person, his ideas, among the youth population, particularly on social media? Although we have seen in Ekiti that a youth bulge, you can't put too much store by it. But at least in terms of, some people coming around him, it will be difficult for him to go, in any case, to go and be a running mate to another person. In practical terms, for him to go and be a vice president in the NNPP, he will have to leave the Labour Party, right? So will he do that? Would that come across as the right thing to do? So there are many questions around this. But you are right, Tundu. The Kwankwanso camp had made it very clear when this talk began, about Kwankwanso and Peter Obi working together, that Kwankwanso cannot be anybody's deputy. This is not the first time they are making that.
We're not talking about
they are making that clarification.
Read, it's embarrassing. Yeah. It's all of that. It's
so the devil is in the details, but we'll see how it works out.
Absolutely, Rufai.
I mean, one thing is certain: politicians have very massive ego, and the ego always plays out in everything they do. And like Tundu said rightly, before you can say, "Vote for me," or like the French say, "Votez pour moi," it means that you feel that it is you. You must be on the ticket. And Peter Obi has made it known that I want to be on the ticket. He left the PDP because he wanted to be on the ticket. That's why he came to the Labour Party. Kwankwanso too left the party he was before because he couldn't get presidential ticket there because he wanted to be on the ticket. The style of merger, I don't know what will happen, but if I dial back historically in Nigerian politics, there's been a merger. I remember when the House couldn't reach a quorum, I think it was 79 into 83, where they had to do a deal between the incumbent party, Shehu Shagari's party, and you had a little fragment of Nnamdi Azikiwe's party too in there for the National Assembly to be able to form a majority. But we also saw how that went.
That was after the elections.
That was after the elections, where they shared ministers and the likes and all of that. But we also saw how that went. That scattered in the end. They didn't go anywhere with that. That's one iteration of a merger. Another iteration of a merger is probably what happened in 1999. Olufalaye being the top person on the ticket, AMPP Ogbonnayano had to step down. Olufalaye was top of the ticket. Umaro Shinkafi was vice president. That's another form of merger. What they want to do is as nebulous as nebula to me. Because yesterday, I got talking to Peter Obi. And his words were, we will come together, we will build a groundswell, a coalition in such a way that the youth can take over their country. And I'm like, what are we saying here? I don't get the fine print of this merger. Is it that both of you? I said, no. Because we want to see it long term in such a way that the youth will now take over their country. That is quite very nebulous to me. So I don't know the fine print of their merger. But whatever it is, definitely they are talking. Other parties too in the works, they are talking. But I can tell you for free, both of them will want to hold a big stake. Right. And the problem that always arise is how much concessions they are willing to make for each other.
Well, I doubt that a merger is even possible at this point. I believe that they have passed the time frame for a merger to happen at this time. So I don't know what the conversation will be.
Probably they might want to, I mean, after, I don't know, but let's see.
We'll take another story. Supporters of the spiritual director of the Adoration Ministry in Enugu State, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, on Sunday defied in protest a directive of the Catholic Bishop of Enugu Diocese, Most Reverend Callistus Onaga, to stop attending Mass at the Adoration Ministry. Bishop Onaga, over the weekend, in a pastoral injunction on attendance to the Catholic Adoration Ministry, enjoined all Catholics to stop visiting the ministry till further notice, after it was determined that Father Ejike Mbaka's preachings were culpable of undermining the Catholic faith. Father Mbaka, in a recent sermon, said that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, will not win the 2023 presidential election because he lacks the spirit of generosity, a statement which violates the provisions of the canon law. Well, in a video now making the rounds on social media, Father Mbaka's supporters, in defiance of Bishop Onaga's prohibition, trooped out in their numbers on the grounds of the Adoration Ministry, demanding the bishop's removal. Let's take a look.
Many bars I just no more naga. Where you men? Onaga must go. Onaga must go. Onaga must go. Una no ga na ndị mmadụ si n'obi adịrọ ha mma na-emechiri ekpere adoration.
Rufai, your take on this story.
This is sad. This is the second time this is happening in the space of... You remember this happened too when he said something against President Buhari, and the Buhari media spokesperson reacted to it, and they said maybe because he was looking for contracts and the likes, and they went back and forth. He was disciplined that period. His fans, his support group, Madam Baka's support group too, went irate. They started fighting. They even destroyed church property in that period. Now, we have seen it again. See, it has now become an occult group. This following is become occultic. Because why I say it's become occultic is the fact that there's something called spiritual hierarchy. Father Mbaka is under the canon law, under the Catholic Church, and is under that Enugu diocese. This same Mbaka, this same what's Onaga that they're saying, no more Onaga. So he's had his own sects away from them, and you are taking your own sect, your members are now fighting against the general prevailing body in the church. You are tearing the church apart. The way forward on this is the diocese should discipline him once and for all, or else it will cause more mayhem. Secondly, if he wants to break away from the church, he should state it clearly.
This is what my issue is. I think he should just break away.
He should just break away, because you see, you can't say you are under the Catholic Church and you keep breaking the laws, the canon laws of the Catholic Church.
I agree with
because
you.
You are going to cause division in the body of Christ. And once there's division in the body of Christ, it becomes sad. I mean, the body of Christ is supposed to bring people together in peace and harmony. Now they are fighting a bishop because of somebody.
Tundu, your comment.
Well, it's aptly called adoration fellowship, isn't it? But the problem is ministry. But the problem is who the adoration is directed at. Are they worshiping God or worshiping a man in the person of Father Mbaka?
I think the Catholic Church
We should be concerned about the personality cult that Father Mbaka seems to have created under the Adoration Ministry. I see something that looks like mass hypnotism here. And you know, Bishop Onaga, Callistus Onaga, have been criticized in the past for being too lenient with Father Mbaka. Yeah. And he, as the bishop, and that Adoration Ministry having been downgraded to the level of a chaplaincy, means that he's under the diocese. And he can be disciplined by the bishop, who applies the canonical law, the canon law. And what we've been told is that until that canonical process is concluded, you know, that Adoration Ministry should not operate. I think it was but it's good security was provided for the bishop, because all this Onaga must go group, only God knows what they have in mind in Enugu.
Well,
Thank
you very much. Thank you all for your great analysis. That's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.